Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Really, that depends on wherever you are on this late great planet Earth. And I wanted to come through one more time tonight, being the fact that I have been pretty deep in talking about this case with Migos rapper TakeOff, who was shot and killed at the age of 28 in the Houston area at a billiards club, essentially. And, I will take a second here to say, much appreciation, DJ Academics. Just a little boost like that can help a little small blogger like me quite a lot. And I did it all honestly, organically, absolutely no clout chasing here. If you, thank you. Shout out to all of you who are coming through. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is pretty much what I do. Talk about true crime cases. Pretty much have covered a majority of crime cases too, involving even the murder of rappers. But you know how it is, man. It just takes that one opportunity, that one chance when, someone features you and then a lot of people hear about you. And I definitely welcome, all you new subscribers. Last night, we literally reached 1K in the live chat, literally talking about this. We were actually reviewing the video footage. Essentially, we enhanced not only the first clip of video footage that was released by TMZ, we made sure to do it in a way that did not involve, Takeoff's body having to be there. So yes, I just got wind of that. I seen it. I was able to go chime in. I seen that he actually did use my videos. And like I said, a little boost like that goes a long way around here, and it's much appreciated. And I did it for all of you. Really, that's the reason why I enhanced that video, for all of you who are digging through this case. And literally, like me, if you're like me, you want to go frame by frame. Doing this true crime or crime and investigations, whatever you want to call it, type vlogging, it is very exhausting, okay? And hopefully that can make it a little bit easier for some of you. And I hope that others will, and they do. They watch and they learn, they pick it up, they start doing. So I also have to say that I really do like what I'm seeing out here in the blogging community too, with how people are like holding back, resisting in the clickbaity, death photos and that sort of a thing. That's awesome. I think a few people called it out when this first happened, but that's excellent. So, yeah, Christine the Spartan, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I essentially the first video that TMZ released, we enhanced that, and the second video they released today, we enhanced that as well. Synced up the clips so that we could see the whole thing. And at this point, I think pretty much every face in there has been identified, right? So I will leave that type of speculation and fun that you guys have when you all talk about that sort of a thing. I'll leave it with those particular bloggers. I'm a different type. I kind of stick straight up to the facts. I don't really belabor on speculation or anything like that. So, you know, but I think the conversation's really good that I'm seeing people are having. It's unfortunate that sometimes the conversation has to come out of such a tragic situation. But we're gonna keep sticking to the script like we always do. But again, those two videos that you can find on the LeakYou.com page, in which we enhance that video footage, does not feature any sort of death shot or photo of TakeOff on the ground dead at all. It is simply there to enhance what is going on in the around the scene, in that, while that incident was happening, that's it, that's all. So somebody had came by and they were a little bit disappointed about what the video showed. I'm like, really? Because like many of you, if you really, really keep watching that, and by slowing that down, you can actually, it's very questionable on whether there is a shot that goes off, I would say about 5 to 6, maybe 5 to 7 seconds before the more louder, gunshots started busting. It's very difficult to tell if that was like a muffled gunshot, some sort of a clap of some, not really sure what that is. But um, I sat and I watched DJ Academic's review on the video, and that's what I absolutely love about how healthy debate, healthy conversation gets kicked off, because I'm sitting here, watching many of you decipher and analyze this video, really going through it frame by frame, because really that's really all that we have. Houston police have been very clear that they really need people to give them statements, even if that means calling in anonymously. They want to know what exactly happened. And Houston police really do feel like the persons that have been identified in these videos can be identified. But I think at this point, social media kind of has already identified them, right? From my understanding. Hey, Deirdre, how are you? And also, too, as we were looking through this enhanced video footage, became very apparent there is something very interesting going on with an individual that has on a yellow hoodie in this particular, in these pieces of video footage. It's very, very clear there's something strange. And I mean, the way the guy even ran out. And listen, did you guys notice the guy in the blue jacket, though, standing right there by the door, looking all suspect? And he's looking dead at an individual who's sitting there holding out a gun to his side as Quavo is in a heated exchange. Now, Quavo had on a orange shirt, and you can actually see from that enhanced video when you look at it, Quavo had managed to make it down quite a ways in this venue. But I'll bring it up here again. But before we do, and so, yes, I just wanted to be clear, that is exactly why I enhanced that video footage that way. I did not include any sort of graphic aspect of it because I want more people to be able to analyze it. This is exactly what you guys are doing, which is fantastic. I'd like to hear TMZ's take on this, being the fact that they absolutely got their hands on this video, on all of these videos that we are talking about. So give me just 1 second. I'd like to bring that up. TMZ has been on top of this this case really since it happened. So definitely. But let's see what they have to say about this. I'd like to hear what they have to say about this, being the fact I have been editing their footage the last couple days.
Horrible tragedy with the death of TakeOff. We have seen video, we've seen a lot of images of what happened at 2:30 in the morning in Houston yesterday, but now the police seem to be honing in on some images on this new video that we got that they say shows a person of interest in this shooting.
An armed man standing right there in the crowd with TakeOff and Quavo as a discussion is going down, a heated discussion between Quavo and some other unknown men who are there. TakeOff is what you're about to see and hear. TakeOff is standing a couple of feet behind Quavo, but pay attention to, there's a man dressed in black as the conversation is going on, and that man has his hand on a gun.
They know y'all, they not gonna be disrespectful like that. But they have to be disrespectful. No basketball, bro. Tell me I won't play basketball. I just saw me play basketball in the gym. Play like that, bro. Don't play like that, bro. I'm gonna hurt somebody, bro. Oh, you doing? No, hell no. No.
So the police want to find this guy. He is a person of interest. And you see, you know, even before the argument escalates to a high pitch, his hand is right on that gun.
It was on the gun the whole time. And then you saw Quavo in the orange shirt walk by once the discussion was over. And it was 2 seconds after Quavo walks past the camera, that the first shot is fired. Now, again, we said the police want to speak to this man as a person of interest. There's nothing that we've seen in the video. Now, you do see him raise the weapon at that point, but we can't say that he for sure fired the first shot.
We just don't see it.
Yeah. Exactly. And you can't see also too if he did fire any shots, where his shots landed, if this was the gun that possibly killed TakeOff, because it seems like he was almost shooting in their defense, because he's kind of going the same way that we had saw them go as well too. Another interesting point here in this video is that you hear Quavo somewhat like saying like, look, I'm leaving, like I'm over this, like he says like, come on, let's go. Like it's like he was trying to like get away from whatever was going on and not add to it. That was a very interesting point as well too.
Yeah, it definitely did not sound like he was trying to escalate things. It was more like, hey, you know, his tone seemed to be, we're moving on, this is not what it's about. And you heard him saying something about basketball. I wish we haven't spoken to anyone who's there to give us any more information about what that was, why basketball came up. We know that Quavo plays basketball, is really good. I don't know if someone was challenging him.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that.
He wasn't having it and just wanted to walk away, and then the shots started flying.
But how much more angry every video we get, guys, and the more info that we kind of learn and the conversations we hear that were had, and we see Quavo walking away, that this was gunfire, and this resorted to
that it had to get to that.
That it had to get to that over some silly argument, and people just start blindly firing guns in a crowd. I don't know, there was what, 30 people around there, people who weren't even involved, and you're just randomly firing a gun. I mean, it's sickening, it's angering, and he should still be alive.
That's Brad, exactly what you said is what the head of quality control, the label, Pierre Thomas, he posted something last night, a message that was mostly directed toward TakeOff, just saying how much he loved him and he wanted people to understand the value of life. He wanted fans, he wanted hip hop in general to remember that you don't have to resort to violence when things get heated, because it's very clear from everything we've seen.
Heated over seemingly nothing. I mean, that's just, it's so stunning. I mean, what Brad said is so right, that there are all these people there, and to pull out a gun and then to whoever fired, because when you
whoever fired that first
when
shot.
you listen, it sounds like there's more than one gun going off at the same time. So there may be multiple shootings
there may
going
have been
on,
a shootout going on,
and that it looks like TakeOff may have been hit in the crossfire. It's unclear. But you know, one of the things I was thinking of, and I've got to think this through because it just struck me as I watched it. There's something in the law called felony murder, that if you commit a felony, which would certainly be shooting
firing
a gun,
even if your bullet isn't the one that kills TakeOff.
The classic case is a bank robber where the getaway driver is outside the bank, but the person who that person is with goes inside and shoots somebody. The getaway driver is also going to be charged with murder, felony murder, because it is a murder committed in the commission of a felony.
Right.
I'm thinking this through, excuse me, literally, as we're watching this, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to prove that bullet is the one that hit TakeOff.
Right.
If that person was firing.
If you look at this, so what you're saying is basically in this situation where clearly there was no reason that we can see or hear for someone to take out a gun and fire a weapon.
I mean, the only way
whoever fired that first shot, whether or not it hit anybody, could be charged potentially with felony murder.
I apologize. I'm thinking this through as I watched it, but it just struck me that way. I mean, are they ever going to find this gun? I don't know. But you know, these are tough cases in that sense. But
by the way, we should mention that aside from the videos that we've obtained, we're fairly certain the police also have surveillance videos.
It's a fairly new complex,
from this complex.
We're sure that they're going to have multiple angles, and that is going to help them figure out what happened here.
And quality control as a label, guys, too. So P had a statement, but quality control too. They released a statement that said, and it mentioned in there that TakeOff was hit by a stray bullet. So that led me to believe that maybe police or someone is starting to figure out a little bit more here, because at one point we couldn't figure out what was intentional, what wasn't.
Right.
Well, I think that it goes to the point, stray bullet, meaning we have video of TakeOff standing right there next to Quavo. TakeOff is not involved in this argument. You don't see him talk. You don't see him getting into it with anybody. So I think stray bullet, he was an innocent bystander in this thing.
Yeah, all the more tragic.
My name is DJ K-Dub from Long.
I just like to, you know, I just wanted to get their take on this situation. I've always enjoyed TMZ Live. So, you know, I just always enjoy hearing Harvey and Charles's take. And, you know, Harvey has done a fantastic job with TMZ. No line about that. A lot of the different points, too, that they were discussing, I've been hearing some folks talk about today, for sure. For sure. But you know, when we were looking at the audio last night, I really, you know, really felt like there was some sort of like muffled gunshot or something that goes off like just a few seconds before the flurry of shots. I don't, maybe it wasn't a gunshot. But you know, maybe it was.
I'm not so green of stuff like that. Trying to listen. Take it. Hold on, look. Take it. Listen. Hold on, check this out. I can't see it. Listen. They know y'all, they're not gonna be disrespectful like that, but they have to be disrespectful. You can win a basketball. I'm talking about no basketball, bro. Tell me I won't play basketball. You just saw me play basketball just in the gym. Play like that, bro. Don't play like that, bro. There you go. I've been hurt somebody, bro.
That. See, that. If you just pay attention to just a few seconds as Quavo's walking off, you do hear what could be some sort of like muffled shot that seems to startle the people there. That sound. That was at least 5 to 7 seconds before the flurry of heavy gunfire was heard. So that is at timestamp 45 seconds on the tape. That sound that you hear, it almost sounds like it could even be a door closing, right? No, hell no. And it startled everybody.
Hurt somebody, bro.
And here's the other thing. As I was watching DJ Academics like analyze the video, you do see what appears to be like TakeOff, like tripping, or I don't know if he was maybe pushed or whatever. But listen, there's somebody very suspicious in a yellow hoodie that's standing off. Oh, did they kill me? They said not today.